What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and someone mentioned that I didn't do a FN Reflex versus Everybody. Normally when I get a new handgun, I do a big comparison video just to show you guys the size, width, length, that whole sort of thing. And I didn't do one with the FN Reflex, but now that I've got a lot of use out of it, talked to a lot of people about it, that whole sort of thing, it's actually pretty interesting. I just want to start by saying this. A lot of people don't like when you say that a handgun is unreliable or has problems, right? Because they may own the handgun. But what you guys need to remember is it's your individual handgun. Yours could be a lemon. Yours could run flawlessly. I have an FN Reflex that has ran flawlessly. Despite all the comments I get all the time, all day long, mine has ran flawlessly. Even though the finish on it is absolute terrible, absolute trash. It's about as bad as it can get with the Cerakoted version, so I would stick to black if I were you guys. I just want to let you know that I do know someone in real life who said that he had 3 FN Reflexes. I believe it was 3, and they all were crap, were sent back to FN, had issues shooting straight, that whole sort of thing. And I've also heard a lot of things with people having accuracy issues with theirs. Now, don't just take it from videos, go out and test yours, and that's all you can do. If yours runs like mine does, then you have an awesome, awesome shooting handgun on your hands. That has been plenty accurate for me. But this right here is in its 15+1 setup. So let's go ahead and go through a couple options. Glock 19, of course, 15+1. So they're both 15+1 in the setup. Obviously much thinner, but it is longer than the 19. But it's smaller, thinner, that whole sort of thing. Much easier for carry. Then we'll go Shield Plus. Now this is cheating right now because it has a Mag Guts kit in it. But just imagine a 10-round flush mag for the Shield Plus versus a 15. So this actually does beat the Shield Plus. It's one of the only handguns it does beat because the Shield Plus with the 15-round mag is extremely long. Let's do Glock 43. Shout out to Daniel Hegg. Obviously 7+1 on the left with that base plate. 15+1 on the right. And I mean width is dang near spot on. Barrel length is dang near spot on. And you're getting an extra 8 rounds on the right. But obviously the 43 is, came out before all this technology. Ruger Max 9, that's 10+1 versus 15+1 on the right. So actually, I think the FN wins this one as well. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be close. Extra 5 rounds for that low chunk. I just don't like the. I don't know. Something about the finish of the Max 9 throws me off. The fact that my optics plate is a different color than the rest of the handgun is just really odd to me. But whatever. It's a good shooter. Nice shooter. CZ P10S. This thing right here is going to be 12 rounds flush. So we're looking at 12+1 on the left, 15+1 on the right. Actually pretty comparable. I think the FN wins. The CZ's thicker, a better shooter, but the FN is much lighter, easier to carry, that whole sort of thing. The brand new SD 2.0 from Smith & Wesson, that's 16+1 versus 15+1 on the right. And pretty comparable considering the width difference, the length difference, weight difference. FN is a solid pistol. Pretty solid. Next we'll go Glock 43X. Remember, I always say these in my videos. People keep wanting to say they carry shield arms. Shield arms is the answer. No, it's not. 10+1 is just fine. 10+1 is plenty, so that's how we compare it. 10+1 on the left, even though I am using aftermarket mags, I do not carry this. 10+1 on the left versus 15+1 on the right. So it definitely beats the Glock 43X, 100%. Not even close. Let's go IWI Masada Slim. That's 13+1 versus FN Reflex 15+1. Very comparable. Masada's a little thicker, a little bit longer, but not by much. It's not enough to make a true difference, even though the Masada does shoot a little bit flatter than the FN. That's the XDM Elite 13+1 versus 15+1 in the FN. Obviously, the XDM is just a tank of a gun. That's why it's one of my home defense options. It just shoots so well, so smooth. Never had a single reliability issue with it. So it's going to be just a much larger handgun in general. Next up, we'll do a Flush Hellcat, which is 11+1 versus FN Reflex 15+1. So you can see they're pretty dang comparable. But the Hellcat mag does sit a little less with the 15-rounder, I believe, which I will show right here because the Hellcat Pro takes the exact same mags as the 15-round Hellcat mags. So we'll see right here. It's a little bit longer, just a tad longer. You see that? Otherwise, it's a very comparable handgun. Obviously, this has a larger barrel than the original Hellcat. Very comparable in size with the Hellcat Pro. The Hellcat Pro just has a little bit beefier of a grip, which helps some people. We can go HK P2000 SK. No one cares about it except for me. In 40, 9+1 of 40 on the left, 15+1 and 9 on the right. That's crazy. Extra 6 rounds and 9mm on the right. But man, is this a smooth shooter right here. Okay, let's go for Glock 30. This is going to be a 12+1 setup, a 45 ACP. One of my favorite handguns to shoot and take to the range. Dang. 12+1 on the left, 15+1 on the right. Obviously, width is a big factor. Love the Glock 30. Let's do Canik Meta MC9 12+1 versus 15+1 on the right. Dang. I think it beats the Canik. It's going to be very close with that 15-round mag. Very close. Two great guns. Let's do Stoeger STR9 SC. That's 10+1 versus 15+1 on the right. So it obviously beats the Stoeger 100% capacity. The Stoeger is just a smoother, flatter shooter. Let's do the Stoeger Micro Compact 11+1 versus 15+1 on the right. Look at that. So it's about even. It's going to be very comparable because it's comparable with that flush setup. Love the Micro Compact from Stoeger. That's the sleeper of the year, 100%. This is a big comparison they wanted to see. They wanted to see the Mossberg. This is the flush mag. So this is 11+1 right here. Also comes with a 14-round mag. I just think when you compare their, where the grip stops, that's how you can compare them. So 11+1 on the left, 11+1 on the right. These are going to be about equal in capacity, if that's what you're looking for. And then width, I mean, they're the exact same handgun. You just have a wider grip this way. So it actually is a lot more ergonomic in the hand. Fills that hand really well by making it still very thin, but wider this way. It gives you just a nice purchase on the handgun, and I do like the Mossberg a lot. Definitely like the Mossberg. Glock 19, 15-round setup. I think the Glock 26, 15-round setup should win. It beats everybody. Yep, look at that. 15+1 for the Glock 26 versus 15+1 for the FN Reflex. I always throw in the SLR Rifle Works base plates in the videos because they are a cheat code. They are the answer to the most capacity with the shortest grip for the Glock 26, and it beats literally everything. It's shorter than the Glock 19, shorter than all these, companies. Sorry, I keep grabbing the wrong pistol. All right. 6 Sauer P365, 12+1 on the left versus 15+1 on the right. Very comparable handguns. Two smooth shooters. Okay, CSX 12+1 on the left versus 15+1 on the right. Pretty comparable considering the FN Reflex Flush Mag is 11+1 setup. So very comparable. Beaver Tail the slide to slide. The slide is so small on that CSX. It really is. Two awesome handguns. CSX could also be one of the most slept on handguns out there. Anyways, MMP9 2.0 subcompact 12+1 versus 15+1 on the right. It beats that. I think it beats it, especially with how wide it is. Then dang, look at that. But obviously you're shooting much faster with this handgun right here. I mean, this is just a beast. It handles recoil so well. Last but definitely not least, a SIG P365 XL 12+1 versus 15+1, but that base plate adds some length to it, so just ignore it. Pretty comparable in length of the slide and all that barrel length. Very similar footprint. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got what you're looking for. Thanks for watching.